In this episode, Sarasota Cars and Coffee recap, a Porsche meatball, and the Gravedigger. Welcome to episode 256 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, have you seen the latest the James Webb Space Telescope has spotted?
No, but it's been very hot out.
God damn it. This is a questionable thing that James Webb has spotted. Honestly, so questionable that the scientists took the photo and went, wait, it actually found a question mark. Like, it's actually just a question mark floating in space.
What?
It looks exactly like a question mark.
Is that a spaceship? Is that a question mark of a spaceship? Is that a cloaking device?
No, I think it's just gas and dust and stars and matter and material that happen to be in the shape of a question mark.
It's a question mark.
It is. It's a legitimate question mark.
It looks exactly like a question mark.
Maybe the James Webb is very confused.
I think everyone's very confused.
Mm-hmm. Or they have a lot of questions and insight into the
Into the
cosmic existence.
Yeah, the cosmic existence is saying, question?
You got a question? We can answer it.
What you need? I would love to answer your question.
That's kind of an odd one, but kind of funny.
It is very odd, and I'll be curious to see if it finds an exclamation point next.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What, or emojis? You think we
Yes.
get some? Oh boy.
Like a smiley face or the crying, laughing face.
Oh goodness, no.
That would be something.
That'd be way too much.
That would be. That would definitely be way too much. But this past weekend, or a week and a half ago or so, was our Sarasota Cars and Coffee. And we always try to make it out if we can. And this month's theme was motorsports.
Oh, was it ever? And,
yeah.
To kick it off, we saw a whole bunch of different race cars. So,
Yeah.
first one that I think you went and chatted with these guys.
Yeah.
Was SRQ Motorsports,
I was
which
chatting with Sean and Rob from SRQ Motorsports. Yep.
which races in SRO in GT3 spec.
Yep.
Now they have a Corvette out there, one of the new ones.
No, that is
you're
now
right.
like 4 years old.
It's a C7.
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 It's actually one of the last few C7 Corvettes that are still in competitive racing.
Yep. Cool that they have it. Do you know if they're going to try to go to C8?
No, absolutely not. The
Okay.
C8, I was talking to him. Do you know the C8 for like minimum investment to be a customer C8 team? It's like well over $1 million. Like the Porsche Cup car is way cheaper than that. The Porsche GT3R is cheaper than that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like everything is, it's like one of the most expensive GT3 cars coming to market.
Are they going to change over to another GT3 car?
No, rumor has it they may go LMP3
Oh,
and race that VP Sports Car Challenge with the GT4 LMP3.
that does look like a really cool series.
Apparently, the LMP3s are dirt cheap to buy and run,
They are.
which is why all the dentists, 9 out of 10 dentists, drive LMP3s.
They do approve.
Yes.
They do clean your teeth.
But yeah, the SRQ Motorsports Callaway Corvette C7 GT3R was there, and cool to see.
Neat to see.
Cool to get up and close and personal.
Yep. Since this was motorsports themed, there was a variety of other cars there. This is I think a GT3 spec R8.
An old GT.
Yep.
I don't think it was actually GT3. I think it's been butchered up to be GT spec. But I think that race is like NASA or Trans Am stuff.
Still very cool to see out there.
Very cool to see.
And then we had a Radical.
Which looks like a handful.
It does look like an absolute
It
handful.
looks like a fun go-kart until it kills you.
It would murder you. I can guarantee you that.
There would be no saving it.
No.
It would be instantaneous death.
Yep. None whatsoever. It's basically, yeah, like you said, a go-kart on rails and tiny wheels. But it's a full-on prototype race car.
It looks like fun.
So, yeah, that's very cool. The other thing that was out there that was very unique to us was Feld Entertainment brought out Monster Jam.
Yeah, Gravedigger. The Gravedigger was out.
Sunday.
Yes.
But cool to see
the Gravedigger was there.
The Gravedigger was there. I don't know who this guy is in the photo, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Those tires are massive.
Yes.
They're taller than him almost. They were significantly taller than you. Nearly as tall as me.
You. They were taller than I am.
Yes. Also taller than almost every other car that was out there?
Yes, they were absolutely taller than almost every other car out there.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've come to conclude is that monster trucks, they're no different than a Porsche Cayman.
They're very different.
No.
They would run over a Porsche Cayman like it was a speed bump.
They're mid-engined.
Yes.
They're exactly the same.
That's not a flat six. It's not.
Okay, fine. What's a mid-engine car with a... It's the new Corvette. It's a mid-engine V8. It's the new Corvette in Gravedigger form.
It's closer to a GT3 Corvette than a Cayman. I'll give you that. Because the GT3 Corvette's kind of a two-frame vehicle with some external bodywork. All these are two-framed. And it has a V8. You're right. Yep.
And it's mid-engine.
They're cool things, but if you just take the bodywork off, they're all the same chassis and combination.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same. They're not, surprisingly, they're not that complicated. They're cool.
They're big.
They're huge, but they're not that complicated.
Freaking big.
The wheels are just insane.
I want to drive one.
I don't want to drive one. They look like they would be impossible to drive.
They look like fun.
You could roll them without much trouble.
That's what I want to do.
True. So let's keep on cruising as far as the cars go here, because there was some cool other stuff that was around, like this.
There was this Gundam style livery on this FK8 Honda Civic Type R, and I believe this car has actually seen some track time at Sebring.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That makes me happy.
I'm a fan of this kind of art style that is taken to cars recently.
If it's on a JDM car,
I think it's just if it's done well, it can work. This is a cool kind of like the stencil layout kind of thing.
That's Gundam. Is what
I know, but there's some stencil to it as well.
Sure.
I know.
Yes, but
I know.
For me, it only works on JDM cars.
Okay. I thought that this one pulled it off very well. That's
yeah,
cool.
that one works.
Mm-hmm.
Some don't, but that one works well.
I agree. That was cool. So, moving on. You didn't get to see this, but as I was walking out, there was a Jeeps on top of Jeeps.
The Jeepses.
If you're going to Jeep, go up.
It's Jeepception.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was kind of neat.
Yeah,
It's,
interesting.
Doing
That's
what they do best.
Typical Jeep move. Yep.
Crawling over each other.
Yep.
And it was just parked like that. So, honestly, suspension could probably be fine like that.
If I had a Jeep, I'd do it.
Yeah, why not?
For sure.
This was something that I took a photo of because, relatively oddly enough, the hood is just straight up and down.
It's vertical.
It is. It's a 90-degree angle to the rest of the car.
Yes. And that reminds me of another car.
What is that?
The Chrysler Crossfire.
In a Crossfire, you can have the hood 90 degrees up?
So you may or may not remember, but it was probably a year ago now or so, but at Cars and Coffee, there was a row of like 8 Crossfires. And they all had their hoods straight up to the heavens.
Wow.
Like almost a 90 degree.
I don't remember that.
And I remember we both had this conversation like, what? That's not what hoods do. They don't just go straight up. They go angled up.
It would be convenient, right? The idea behind this is kind of cool.
It is. Yeah.
I like it.
Funny looking.
That's almost a really good I wish they would have.
Yeah.
I wish they would just allow you to either put the hood straight up or pop the hood off easily.
Yeah.
That's a neat one.
It'd be helpful if the hood was also
the
light.
car itself is nothing all that special, but
yeah,
kind of cool. What is this?
It's a Ferrari 430.
Is it a 430?
It is a 430, but is a Scuderita? That's the next question.
Yeah, because I thought, based on the back...
You would think, but I have a suspicion that this may not be an actual Scudin, more just like a modified 430.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for me, the biggest tell is, one, look at the panel gap on the front bumper.
I was about to say that. I can see the engine, not the engine isn't there, but inside the front bumper, and you shouldn't be able to see that.
There is quite a bit of a panel gap there.
There's a massive
and
panel
also,
gap.
It looks to be a replica of a front bumper because the regular front bumper doesn't kind of have that much of a lower splitter to it. Mm-hmm. And the seats are not stock. Those are Sparco race seats. You wouldn't replaced the standard 430 Scuderia carbon buckets for Sparco seats. And the exhaust is also very aftermarket.
It does look aftermarket with its little carbon cowling around it too. Yeah.
So it's a very nice car. It sounds fantastic, but I have a feeling that it's not a true Scoot. Now, I can't guarantee this, but I'm a little sus.
Yeah, initially both me and you looked at that and we were like, oh, wait a minute. And then we did the, hold on a moment. This might not actually be what we think it is.
Yeah. Is it good? Yes, but
right.
I don't know if it's a true Scoot.
Yeah, I don't think so. Moving along, though, this is some muscle.
That looks like a future sinkhole.
If you want power or superchargers, here you go.
So that's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7
Hellcat or SRT powered Challengers and Chargers.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of weight.
I will say they did line them up pretty good.
It's a good lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do it like that. But the hoods are all also not vertical.
No, they're not. But
bad mark for Dodge.
Oh, yeah. Chrysler can do better.
Yes.
Cool to see, though, and it shows you the diversity that is this car show, because we have kind of Scuderia things, and then just a lineup of muscle cars.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of everything.
It's kind of cool.
So what was this?
This was a car that I was oogling. This is the new Porsche 992 GT3. Not an RS, but GT3.
Okay, just the base GT3.
Yeah.
Now, not very far away was this, which is a 991?
.2, yes, correct.
Oh, that's good naming conventions. Thank you, Porsche. .2, as opposed to just 2.
Well, you have 991.1, 991.2, and 992. When they do the facelift version of the 992, you'll then also have the 992.1 and the 992.2.
MP4-12C. That's all I'm hearing here. Yes. Anyway, which of these two would you rather?
Ooh. I don't remember the transmission in the 992 GT3, but if it is what I'm hoping it is, then I would take the newer one, the 992, if it was a manual. If it was PDK, I would take the older RS.
They're both manual. Which would you rather?
One can't be manual.
Just hear me out.
No.
They're both manual.
No, they're not.
Okay, they're both not manual. Which would you rather?
Then the older one, the GT3 RS, that one. Yep.
That?
So if they're both PDK, I'll take the older 991.2 GT3 RS.
But why would you not race car?
What?
This is basically race car.
Yes, but the other one, if it was a manual, I don't remember if it is or not. If it's manual, that is the one I buy because I want the manual. Because it's just almost just as much as a car as the old one.
This is the classic Porsche to me. Or
What?
The classic GT3 RS Porsche.
The other one's not an RS.
I know.
They're both into gray, like a chalk gray.
Mm-hmm. Give me the race car.
You want the RS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They both have the same seats, so they both have the lightweight carbon bucket seats.
Do you know which one's faster off the top of your head?
Realistically, what, to 60? Whatever one's PDK is going to be the fastest. I can guarantee you that. But I would say, what's that?
They're both. Which one's faster?
Ooh, if they're both PDK, I would actually say probably the new non-RS is faster than the older RS.
Race car not faster?
Probably.
Oh.
Probably. The new one has a better front suspension. Double wishbone front suspension derived from the RSR. Like, the old one has amazingness to it, but it's not as technologically advanced as the new one.
Man, they fall fast.
But if the new one is the 992 in the manual, I'll take the manual over the PDK. I've driven PDK RSs. I've driven that car in a different color. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's one of the best cars I've ever driven in my whole life. But I really miss having 3 pedals.
Reasonably so. Yep.
I really, really miss having 3 pedals.
Okay. All right. Race car go room. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
This was my car spot because this is cool. This is the
you're
new.
Claiming this as your car spot of the week?
Yeah. This is the 2024 version of the Integra Type S.
The hot Integra Type S, the D-winged Civic Type R with an Acura badge.
Mm-hmm. First time, I think me and you had seen it in person.
In person, yes.
Yes. I'll pull up some other photos here so you can see other angles of it. But I'll also tell you some specs on it because power-wise, well, let's start with the engine. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo, though. So
it's a Honda Civic Type R, same engine.
It is. Making 320 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Not amazing, but not terrible. Now, it does come in a 6-speed manual. Better than a 911 GT3 RS? Confirmed. Great. 0 to 60 won't be better than that, though, because it will be 5.1 seconds.
That's not very fast.
That's not very fast.
That's not very fast.
For modern cars, that's pretty slow. 0 to 100, 12 seconds, and then the quarter mile's 13.7. It's almost a 14-second quarter-mile car.
Ooh.
That's slow. That's just slow.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's just slow.
I mean, I'm sure we're gawking at a 13-second quarter mile, which back in the day was blisteringly quick, but that wouldn't make you super excited.
No, it wouldn't. Curb weight, 3,200 pounds. And the price, 50, as seen in these photos here, it's like $54,000. You can get it between 51 and up.
Gee, that's a bargain.
No. For a 13-second, no, that's not a bargain.
Gee, that's a bargain.
It would be a fun, slow daily driver.
For $40,000.
Yes. That's where you lost me.
For $40,000, I could justify it.
Yes.
For $54,000,
and
not including dealer markup,
60 to 65 after dealers. Yeah. No, it's not worth it. What do you think about the looks, though?
Okay, so let's talk about the looks, because that is the reason why it exists, is because if you want a mature version of the Civic Type R, you buy the Integra Type S. If you want to remember what it feels like to be 13 again, you buy the Civic Type R.
Yeah.
I think it looks much better than the standard Integra with the wide body fender flares and all that. The new Integra needs that.
It does.
Is it a good looking car? Yes. I give it a thumbs up. But what would I rather to look at every day? This or the Civic Type R?
Depends on how young you are.
Actually, I don't think it depends on how young you are.
No?
Because I think the whole point that you buy this car is not to be mature. You don't buy a turbocharged 4-cylinder manual transmission car to be mature.
No.
I'm sorry. That is not the engine of mature adult. It's just not.
Okay. I kind of disagree with you there.
Really?
Yeah, because this is so power limited that you can't really get yourself in trouble with this. But you can do enough to have fun. It's the BRZ conundrum, right? You can do enough to have fun with it, but you're never going to speed because it doesn't speed. It's the same situation here. So I think that you're like forcing yourself into maturity. You can still hoon the car around and have fun.
Why would you want to grow up, though?
I think that this is like on the edge of the I want to grow up phase. You're not full, I want to go get a Lambo and just be a hooligan. Because you have a family and you have kids and you have to have a car seat. And
you have the same amount of seats in this as you do as the Civic Type R.
Mm-hmm. But the Civic Type R is more childish.
Yes, and that's why you buy it.
No, this is the more mature, grown up.
I don't buy a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with a main transmission to be mature and grown up. I buy it to be an idiot.
Then what's a Veloster?
A car that you buy to be an idiot.
It's a 4-cylinder manual that you can...
It's not a mature car.
I agree. I don't think the Civic is either. I think this is.
You're agreeing to my point.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't want to buy this kind of engine in a body that looks mature. I want to buy this kind of engine in something that looks ridiculous, like the Civic Type R with a big wing.
This is a dad vehicle.
So is the Type R.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's too out there to be a dad vehicle.
What?
No, that's the
What?
college kid that has too much money. That's the high school parents are going to buy you a new car.
A new car?
A new car. No, I don't think so.
I still prefer the Civic Type R over the...
This is like, I wanted an Accord, but I want to be a kid and drive a manual. I'm going to get this. Is it not?
I see where you're going with that.
That's the Accord. That's the fun Accord. That's the best way I can put that car.
It looks much better than the standard Integra, but I still think the Civic Type R looks better.
Now I want to know, is an Accord faster than this? An Accord might actually be faster. Accords aren't fast, but they're not abundantly slow. I know this car isn't fast, nor is it abundantly slow, but...
Let's just see. Honda Accord, 15.3 seconds.
0 to quarter mile?
Quarter mile, 15.3.
Okay.
0 to 67.2.
So yes, this is faster. Also, I don't think they make the Accord a manual, so...
They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the I want an Accord, a reasonably practical car that my wife is not going to hate me for having, and you can hoon it around town.
If your wife hates you for having a Civic Type R with a wing on it, you just need a new wife.
Yes, but you can't do that. You can't do that.
You agree. Yes. Yes. I win. Oh, yes. Yes.
But you can't do that.
You can't?
No. All right, let's move on. What did you spot?
So, while there was a lot of cool stuff at Cars and Coffee, my car spot goes to something that I saw in the wild, which is much more exciting for me. Because when you see something out when you don't expect to see something, it is much more of an event. I saw a very new and very limited Porsche. I saw the new 911 Sport Classic. In the wild.
Really?
Yes. I was putzing through one of our nice neighborhoods, and I saw it coming up on a side street, and I immediately recognized the color of it. It was that Sport Classic gray. And I saw the meatball with the livery on the side, and I immediately was like, oh, wait a minute, there's more to this. And then as I came up close, I saw the rest of the car, and I went, oh, damn, ducktail, this is the Sport Classic, let's go. Wow. Yes. I saw one in the wild. Guy just driving down the road.
Were they headed my direction out of Cars and Coffee?
Nope. This was like 3 days before Cars and Coffee.
Oh, okay.
This was not even the same day.
I think I saw this, but not the gray. It was in the red or maroon.
You didn't see this.
Okay.
You saw the Heritage Targa 4S, the red one.
Sure, that one.
Yeah, it wasn't this one. I promise.
Okay.
That red one's been to Cars and Coffee a bunch. This
one has 60 on the side. The last one of these, that not exactly this car, but in one of the newses recently, we talked about one that had a 62 or 64 on the side.
Yes.
And you remember, I was going to spray paint 60 on the side of it.
Yes. All of the new exciting anniversary editions are coming out right now. So this one came out before the other one. So I think the 60 was already taken.
They got the number right. Good for them.
But either way, this is such a special car because of what it is. It's a car that doesn't exist in Porsche's catalog.
It's a 911?
Yes, but it's 911 Turbo that has a manual transmission and is only rear-wheel drive.
Now, there's like 50 different cars in their catalog for sale right now. So, how does this not exist?
Hear me out. This car... So, in Porsche, you can buy 911. You can buy 911 Turbo, which is all-wheel drive and PDK transmission only. That's the only way you can buy it. They took the Turbo, took two-wheel drive away from it, and swapped in a 7-speed manual.
And that's what this is?
Yeah. It's a pretty special car.
Okay.
Like, this is the only car that is the turbo engine with rear-wheel drive and manual transmission.
That's a good combo.
And the ducktail like that. And the really special interior, which we're about to get to. It's got the houndstooth, the Pepita interior on the seats and everything. It is a very pretty car. I would actually go as far to say as this may be the most pretty car that Porsche currently make.
Okay.
In terms of just overall prettiness,
I can see.
I think between interior, exterior, all the touches here, I think this I would honestly call this the prettiest car that Porsche makes.
I can see where you're going with that.
Is it the best? No, but it's the prettiest.
Yeah. It's not the fastest. It's not the craziest.
No.
It's just solid
It's
in
just
all the right ways.
pretty.
Okay.
But I saw one on the road, and it's amazing that someone paid the money for it because its base price is $273,000.
Base price.
Yes.
So with your Porsche dealer, is this a $300,000? Is it a $350,000 car?
This is a car that someone paid a lot of money over for.
Is this a $400,000 car?
Most likely, yes.
Holy moly! Oh boy.
Because you're realistically not buying one of these for less than a solid 100 to 150 over.
How can a manufacturer sell a car that's $150,000 over MSRP?
Easily when they like money and profit.
It's not how can they? It's why did someone buy this?
Because if they don't wreck it, I mean, there's only going to be 1,250 of them around the whole world. And if they don't wreck it in 10 or 20 years, that's not going to be worth 400. That's going to be worth 600 or 700.
Okay.
So
it will appreciate.
I think so.
It's an investment.
I think so. Yeah.
It's an expensive investment, but it's an investment.
I mean, would you rather have an IRA or a Porsche Sport Classic?
You can drive a Porsche. Can't drive an RA.
That's correct.
That's a good point.
You see where I'm going?
I see your point.
It's a pretty car. It's a special car. It's a car that doesn't exist outside of this one car.
You can crash a Porsche. Your IRA can crash on
I was
its
going
own.
to say, you can crash your IRA too, so don't even.
And you can't even do anything about it.
You pick some risky investments in there, you're crashing that IRA whether you like it
Yeah.
or not. So that can happen.
All right. I think I'd go with the Porsche then.
See?
Yep.
See?
I see where you're going there.
But yeah, I saw this in the wild, the new Sport Classic.
Solid.
What
Solid
a gorgeous
spot.
car to see in the wild.
That is a very you spot.
Oh, always.
Because I would see it and go, 911. Meatball says 60 though. Let's go.
I actually think even you would have probably stopped and double taked.
I would have taken a picture of it and sent it to you only because it had like the gold letters and the meatball on the side. It would have been like, that's not a normal one. I know it's not normal.
It would have been even more than that because you would have seen the ducktail.
Yeah.
You would have seen the ducktail. Even you would have given a double take and go, that's more than just a regular 911. There's something to that is different.
Yeah.
So it's gorgeous. I love it.
That's cool. All right, let's move on to the I wish they would have. Do you have one?
I have one that is very practical to our cars and coffee. We live in Florida. It is 1,200,084 degrees outside currently. I wish cars and coffee had more shade.
Had more shade.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Because by 8:30, I was a mess.
Oh, absolutely sweating.
Every human being in attendance was a puddle of sweat.
Yeah, and it was by 8:30. Car show starts at like realistically 7:30.
Yeah.
Should be 8 or 8 is the scheduled time for the start. But yeah, if you're there at 8, good luck, because by 8:30 you're drenched in sweat.
Oh, you're
and if
toast.
you stay after that, you're sunburned.
Yep, pretty much.
Have fun.
Yes. So I wish cars and coffee had shade.
I think the only way that they could do that would be to put it in a parking garage or a parking facility that was multiple levels.
I see where you're going with that.
There's nothing around
It would just be a weird vibe having to walk up a level to see and talk and mingle.
Though it would sound good.
Well, unless you get the Chrysler Crossfile crew.
Bring it on.
Oh God.
Every
God.
Mustang and their homie would be there just revving
Every
up.
car alarm would go off in a 10-mile radius.
Certainly. But you would get a nice, flat six sound once in a while. You'd get a V12 once in a while. A lot of V8s, some V10s. Could sound good, but yeah.
It could.
There's the other side of that.
Good acoustics,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. So yeah, that's my wish would. Do you have one?
I do. So I don't know that we've actually spoken about this or had this one, but I wish that all cars nowadays came with a front-facing camera and a rear-facing camera. Kind of the ones where it's always recording, and then if an accident or something happens, you can hit a button or stop it on your phone or do whatever so that you have the recording.
As much as I don't want more devices recording things, that it would be helpful in that circumstance when someone hits you or bumps you or something.
Reason I brought this up is because a buddy just recently got into a car accident. He's fine. It was only like 10 mile an hour little bumper.
Something.
You know, yeah, they bumped each other. But like a month prior, he got a dash cam.
Oh.
And it came in very handy.
Did it?
Yes, because the person was accusing him of running into them. Clearly, after the police saw the camera footage, they were like, no, you're not at fault. It was clearly her fault, yada, yada, yada. But if he didn't have that, it would have been different.
His word against hers.
Mm-hmm. Which, in a no-fault state like this, wouldn't matter. With the evidence that he has, I do think it's going to matter. So, I don't know why
Makes
more
sense.
cars don't have it. I know you can buy them on Amazon for relatively cheap, but like, why isn't it built in?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
It's a relatively simple thing for a manufacturer to build in. They probably already have front-facing cameras or LiDAR, radar, or whatever they want to are.
R's. All the R's.
For self-driving kind of stuff. I know Teslas do, obviously. More and more are getting that. They're also pointing the camera in at you, which is a little weird.
I don't like that.
I don't see why all manufacturers don't have a front and rear facing.
I see where you're going. I mean, for the safety aspect, it does make sense.
It does. It's unfortunate that we are in this situation, but when it happens, you want it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So, you got anything else to wrap up 256?
I do not.
It's going to wrap us up then. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and drop a comment. Let us know if you were at Cars and Coffee, what was your favorite? Curious to know what really piqued your interest. And if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _, YouTube is We Are Auto, and our website is weareauto.io. So, thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.